All right, y'all. What up? What up? What up? It's your man, A-Shawn. What I'm gonna do is talk to y'all about North Carolina child support and the aspects of false enrollment into child support. And once you are enrolled into the NC child support program, arrears added to your payment compliance amount and arrears. So um, I'm going to talk directly a lot. I'm not going to be too long-winded, but I'm also talk indirectly as well. So to begin with, in North Carolina, these child support things that you see and rules that you read, they are guidelines. They are not state law. They are not federal law. They are guidelines. Also, to help you out, January the 1st, 2023, the NC child support guidelines changed. You got to know about Schedule A, Schedule B, non-custodial parent, right? Look it up. So to begin with, say, and we talking about law and rule with guidelines. So say you're a baby mama or you be a baby daddy. The other party takes you to court for child support. This is what we're looking at, first of all. Anything that I'm saying to you right now is do not think about your baby mama, your baby daddy, or whoever else. It is the legalities law dealing with the child support agency. Forget all the other stuff. It don't matter. Here's how you're going to be able to, fend for yourself. So, all right. Say a court sends a paper to you for you to come to court and pay child support, right? You don't come to court. Well, what they got to do is serve that paper to you again because that paper, first of all, from the court is going to be served by a sheriff to acknowledge that you got that paperwork, and to be the court, you get to sign it. So if the court says, I need you to come to court to pay child support, they send a sheriff there or wherever you at to your residence, right? And you don't sign that paper, well, they're going to have to reissue it. They cannot go back in court and make a judgment in a child support case of what you should and should not pay without you being there. Y'all understand? Because they do that. So right now I'm going to get up and I'm going to read something to you real quick. 18 U.S. code. I don't know if that's two S's, $2 on top of each other right here. I wish somebody in legal law would tell me what it is, but it's 18 U.S. code 1028. Fraud and related activity in connection with identification documents, authentication features, and information. That's to begin with. In order for you to get put on child support in North Carolina, somebody with the child support agency involved, they're going to have to fill out papers with the child support agency. They're going to have to take you to court. They're going to have to send you papers that when you are served, you're going to have to sign. So it acknowledges that you know you got to come to court. They've been signed. The judge cannot rule on your case if those papers is not signed. That's number one, right? So next, what we're gonna get to is what this is here. Let me get up. A lot of times, child support comes from your taxes and all that. We're gonna look at number 31 USC 3123 is not used with child support, but it does relate to the payment obligations and interest on public debt. Well, what we're gonna do here is go to in North Carolina off the rip. It tells you, yes, child support is a public debt in North Carolina. That's to begin with. We don't stay on this one long. Then what they're gonna say is under that statute, it says the U.S. government promises to pay the principal and interest on its obligations in legal tender. Secretary of the Treasurer is responsible for paying the interest on the public debt. Now, me personally, I can do it like this. I'm not gonna show y'all everything because I got things going on I'm gonna do. North Carolina Revenue, they charge me a lot of money for federal, also state, right? So, I can look at what North Carolina talking about. I need to pay. You're talking about $603, right? So I'm looking at the paperwork at what they actually took from me, $625. Then they got another fee for $94.18. So forget the $5 administrative fee. That's fine. So I'm looking at. I was supposed to pay $603 child support. Took it from me tax wise, but they got that. But the real amount was $719.32. So they took an extra $160.32. So it's just a matter of having all your paper, the legal documentation. My wife and I have been married 11 and a half years, going on 12. They should have never touched her. She's what you call an injured spouse. Her income, she pay taxes, I pay taxes. Child support, she's not under child support. I pay it. It's mine, right? So when child support takes it federal and state, they just list me on the documentation. They do not list her. They take extra money. So this is where that rule is going to come in handy for me. I got the papers for the United States Treasury. They also tell you tax refund may be offset per 26 USC section 6402 parentheses C-F of the Internal Code law. We had to do that. I filled out an 8379 form just recently. So we're gonna get off of that, right? We not that's not even nothing of a concern right now. So the next thing you want to know is, let's go to the next screen or phase. Now, here's what's important that I want everyone to know. Say you do get on child support. They serve you, you go to court and all that. Child support starts from day one. Arrears start from day one. Always been that way. You owe nothing. So a lot of times, the agency come in at and do that bullshit, all you gotta do is catch them on it, right? And I'm giving you legal law plus the judges how to handle them about it, right? So once you go to court, and I've been through it a couple of times over 30 years, right? Once you get put on child support, your child support starts from day one. There is no arrears, right? So if I get on put on child support tomorrow, right, I'm gonna get my payment amount. There's no arrears. So once they tell me I gotta pay $100 a month, for instance, right? I'm gonna pay $100 a month. They're gonna say, well, there's past due child support in this case of the sum $5,000. So we're gonna charge you $100 a month and then $50 to the arrears of the $5,000 amount of past due child support on your case that was charged to anyone. But you're the one that we got in court now, and we got the legal documentation for you. We're going to charge you them arrears once we establish your child support order. Well, once again, by law, they can't do that. And I've never really had that problem until recently when I got some stuff dismissed. What they try to do is transfer that, but I'm going to handle that later on. But what I want to tell you is, here's what you want to do. You get charged child support. You start from day one. Anything, if you get put on child support for a child that's 17 years old and they say you owe them $50,000 from all them years back, that's bullshit. That's a lie. Child support starts from the day the judge in a court of law orders that decision. But to help back it out even further, here's what we're going to do. Section 9103 of the Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act of 1986 prohibits the retroactive modification of child support arrears. This is what you're going to use. Once again, let me say to you here, Section 9103 of the Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act of 1986 prohibits the retroactive modification of child support orders. This is a condition for states to receive approval for the IVD state plans. However, there are some cases exceptions. Now, here's the exceptions. Modifications can be made if there is a pending petition for modification. You never been on child support. That does not apply to you. So they cannot add arrears to you. Now, modifications can only be made from the date that the notice was given to the obligee or obligator. They can only charge you, like, you paying $100 right now, 17 years later. All that before then, they can't charge you for it. But what they could charge you for is they initiate the process. 3 months later down the line, you go to court, you're in a child support order. What they can retroact back as far as child support is those 3 months. You understand? Y'all got me? All right, so we're going to move on. And these are federal laws. Also now, I got something else for you that you need to know. 18 U.S.C. Section 242 is a federal law that makes it a crime to deprive someone of their rights under color of law. This includes acts done by federal, state, or local officials within or outside their lawful authorities. This also prohibits subjecting someone to different punishments based on their race, color, or alien status. So what that is doing is setting up qualified impunity. No one in the court of law is higher than the other. Judges is accountable just like everybody else in the court of law. This is what this is setting up. All right, you understand? So it is up to North Carolina child support agencies to do the right thing, because if they don't, they lie, and you got them, they are subject to legal law. Also, when you're making an argument such as I am doing now for myself and pushing forward, you got to have all your legal paper and documentations. When you go to court and making an argument, do not go in that court of law saying, I did this, I paid this, this is what it is. Now, take the family emotions out of it. Be your own lawyer. Go in that court of law with the legal paper work documentations. Have it. And not only that, have the paperwork there, save it on a file or computer, save it in the cloud, save it and give it to other different multiple people by thumb drive. Not nowhere where somebody can trace if you send it to somebody through an email to retrieve those files. Put it on a thumb drive. Give it to 5 or 6 different people. Because I'm telling you, if you don't listen, I don't want to hear your story or your narrative. It's a lot more that I can tell you that I'm not. And one more thing before we get out of here, maybe one or two more, maybe one. We're going to look at, excuse me, what I'm going to look at is 45 CFR 303.101. Employees that is withholding child support without your check. All right. You know, they take it out your check. All right. Employees who perform income withholding under 45 CFR 303.101 and receive fees for this service can be taken to court if they fail to disclose the fees or provide an opportunity for rebuttal. So now, if your job is charging you child support out your check, right? If you're paying child support, you're paying on arrears, and the company is charging you a small fee, then there's nothing you do about it, right? But when you look at the amount of your child support that's being paid, when you call the North Carolina Centralization Agency, this is what's been paid in. Your job has been taking extra dollars for a service, but not paying the agency or putting it in their pocket without telling you, then that's when you have a case to sue your employer. All right. So this is just a brief conversation rounding about how to help you help yourself.